A highly anticipated crypto bull run is amidst, and sentiment is starting to flip overall bullish. I have gathered two very popular tickers for our statistical and discretionary review, as these may present an immediate short-term time frame setup. Welcome back to the channel on this happy Monday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol XRP and SOL. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in, first of all, with ticker symbol XRP, as a lot of people have actually been requesting this ticker from me. You know, you guys, I stick to equities normally, right? But just rest assured that I actually came from the crypto world and merged over to equities from crypto. But now there's a huge amount of attention in crypto, so sure, let me go ahead and give a quick look at these tickers, right? So XRP, Ripple, lots of sentiment within this ticker here, and there could be a very nice bull run for this ticker here, right, team? So let's go ahead and pop open the daily chart here, because I generally like to look at the upper time frames first, right? So first of all, actually, let me look at this weekly time frame to see what kind of setup we have there. Already looking at two very long wicks to the upside. Usually not the best look, right, as there could be some weakness or some I say some bull exhaustion, right? But it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Let me go ahead and pull up some moving averages here and see what we have going with this, right? Bi-weekly time frame already looking like it could, 5 days, 17 hours to close, could print a little bit of a shooting star right there, but it's all good. Still an eternity away before that close, right? So actually, you know what? Oh, yeah, there's some very bullish shift happening here. Yeah, 12-hour time frame golden cross right here, and we see the 12-hour time frame EMA 55 under the EMA 21, which is a silver cross. Very credible. Daily time frame silver cross and daily time frame golden cross already too, just about a little over a week and a half old. And let's see, yeah, bi-daily silver cross and also the 3-day silver cross. Let's see what else we have. Man, oh man, yeah, these are pretty bullish signals here, and I would have to give some high credibility to what is happening here on the 5-day time frame. We have 2 days and 17 hours to close this 5-day iteration, and I would say that this is already going to be potentially speaking, this could be the second 5-day iteration or third closing upside of the SMA 200 purple line, right? So that is looking massively bullish, since it is reacquiring the 5-day SMA 200. Yeah, there's something happening here, right? If this, in formation, this wouldn't have been the best setup, right? So in fact, it's actually, well, I guess we can look at it, right? Your your diagonal lines and formations like these, not always the best thing to look at, right? But still, we can observe, right? It's all good, right? So yeah, it looks like a potential rising wedge, right? And this is the breakout from that wedge itself, right? This could be along the lines of the SMA 200, could be the validation of, or the confirmation of the conversion from resistance into support before a continuation to the upside. And, upside targets could be observed from the center of the triangle right down here, right? Take a trend line from that bottom side to the top side, apply it to the area of breakout, which could have been around here, right? And it's looking like around 88 cents, right? So from that, it looks like the price action is still kind of working on that, right? Huge parabolic run on this side of things, right? As I guess it could have also been a rising wedge at that point. And, typically these formations tend to break out right about this area here, 65 to 75% to the apex. And it's looking like it's a very bullish breakout. In fact, it completely changed the narrative. This is a bearish formation by nature, right? So these downside targets would have been somewhere beneath the 36-cent zone, 35-cent zone, into the 31-cent zone. But obviously right here, price action completely rejecting that, right? So, and actually here on my ARCa divergence indicator, we had several And I actually could still see some more than the ones presented here, but several drives of hidden bullish divergence on the 5-day time frame, and those upsides actually played out pretty well. So it's looking like XRP is respecting some divergence here, right? So another thing to notice here is that the 5-day time frame ADX, represented by the dotted white line, it's actually at 22% with DMI plus on top, and that's looking pretty good, right? As soon as we get that 25% average directional index, then that could be a pretty nice validity to what we're observing here in stochastic momentum versus volatility in a linear scale, right? So please note, yeah, this is a BBWP by the caretaker. Incredible indicator here, as it's displaying volatility in a linear scale rather than on pain. And I do think that measuring volatility down here like this it's just way better than something like a Bollinger Bands or whatever, right? So yeah, still an upside pivot. I mean, freshly coming out of the bullish control zone here on stochastic momentum, looking very good. And it is a standard stochastic setup, right? So yeah, let me come back down to more immediate short term and see what the suggestions could be here, right? So at the present moment right now, the ARC Div 1 is actually giving us hidden bullish divergence right now, right? So it's looking like there could be an upside to follow from here. It looks pretty much confirmed. Yeah. I mean, in fact, this is the daily time frame, right? So we could be experiencing a very short-term pullback before a continuation on to the upside, right? And that's honestly because we do have that EMA 21 on the daily located right at about the resistance level of this, the formation's top, right? So that would be at about roughly around 63 cents, right? We're currently sitting at closer to 66 right now. But massive setup here. Actually, let me dive back into the 8-hour time frame and see what we have presently. Yeah, 8-hour time frame definitely suggesting a continuation to the downside on stochastics. We have some contraction happening right now. Let's see the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame seems, or it appears to be leveling off right here. You can actually see the RSI bouncing right from that SMA 14 in the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile. This could lead to an upside continuation as it jumps in to the bullish control zone overall, right? So volatility a little stuck in the center here in the mean, but it's okay. I think there still could be a continuation onto the upside even still, right? But immediate short term, let's see that. What about hourly time frame, right? Let's pull that into perspective here and see what the good deal is, right? So yeah, a little bit of a crossover here. RSI signal beneath the SMA 14 could indicate a continuation to the downside, but you know, it's in a gravitational zone here. It could pull it down to maybe around, I would say, something consistent to the EMA 7 at around 66 cents. Again, consistent to the larger time frame supports that we were looking at, right? Volatility currently maxed out at expansion right now. It could be higher even still, and it looks like we're getting that stochastic momentum correction towards that upside fairly soon, right? So now, you know, I did actually prepare something here for you. So I do have some statistics ready for this thing as well, right? So let's go ahead and pull up the this is the ARC footprint forecast plus model, and this is actually taking into consideration DMI, volume weighted moving averages, and volatility versus stochastic momentum, which is key, right, for these types of things. And not to mention that I've also added the factors of my Div 1 algo, right? So I'm actually scripting these things myself, team, and I guess it would be incredibly amazing to have the assistance of another coder, right? But as far as the ARQ indicators that you saw in the display in the front, sure, that's definitely one of them too. Go ahead and get in touch with us for that. And the person that you would be speaking to is actually Ike, very talented coder. Right, so yeah, let's observe this actually not in the hourly. I think it was better looked at in the, oh, sorry, actually, you know what? Not the divergence by itself. We want to pull up the footprint, right? So let me get that out of the way for now. And here we go, right? So this is actually what we're looking at right over here. This is the code itself, right? And strategy tester, here we go. All right. Yeah, so this is starting off with a base account of $10,000. You can actually see all the settings here, right? $10,000, right? We have a order size of around 10,000 as well. commission based on a zero spot, 0.005, and yeah. So from here, yeah, I'm looking at a 94.56% probability or profitability, right? And it looks like we have a 13.14% drawdown with a 416% gain, right, or a net profit. So if we're looking at the performance summary on this, then there are some really interesting setups going on. You know what? And specifically in the hourly time frame, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because there could be a short-term setup going on right now, right? Stochastic momentum about to pivot towards the upside here, and volatility about to cross beneath that 95, or I'm sorry, I would say about 89 to about 88% of expansion, right? So as soon as it crosses beneath those zones, that could be a trigger here, and that could lead to a short-term upside, right? And I'm looking at a potential topside target of around 67 to around, I'd say the top side of this range here at around closer to 68 cents, right? So the average losing trade based on this algo is actually 18 cents. And the average winning trade here on an hourly basis is at around $39.94. So it has gained some pretty nice gains over its time, right? 1,100 trades closed, and there's an average of 3 trades per bar, and it looks like the 416% upside is equivalent to $41,600 off of a $10,000 base account, and the net loss is at around $2,200. So it's looking pretty good. The setup could be presenting another opportunity for an upside right now, right? So as I would actually expect it, so because DMI is currently sitting at a very, very massive 53%, DMI sitting at ADX sitting at a 30%, is already bullish and suggesting a very strong market trend towards whoever's leading on top, in this case DMI plus being bulls. Okay, so yeah, team, so I am noticing too that we are observing a really nice statistical setup. Come on, let me get that thing. What's going on here, man? What's going on here? Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, I'm noticing here that we're actually getting a pretty nice read, not only in the hourly time frame, but of course in the upper time frames as well. So 97.61% probabilities on the 4-hour time frame. Given that the max drawdown actually came up to around 59%, we still have 225% of net profit here. And yeah, so I think it's a pretty good algorithm that I've written thus far. So I will continue updating this and see if we can actually get the crypto world to benefit off of something like this, right? So as this is looking kind of like a falling wedge breakout. I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, yeah. I guess so, right? 4-hour time frame. That could be something like this, right? We're presently getting this, the validation of, this is the test, right? Breakout of the resistance, conversion into support, test before an upside continuation, right? And this is in the 4-hour time frame, looking very bullish. And the first target, of course, to observe here would be the center of the triangle, which arguably could be right at about here. Sorry, ergonomic mouse failure. There we go. All right, so yeah, topside target to be observed would be, let's see, yeah, this would be 44 minutes to close this 4-hour candle here. That could lead to about a 69 spot. No, yeah, about 69 cents, which is confluent to the targets that we were speaking of. At around 68 cents, right? Not bad. Everything is leading towards a pretty nice upside, right? Huge target from the back end of the triangle too. That would lead somewhere around the 72 cent mark. So let's, yeah, you know what? I guess one more thing that we can look at is the present situation here with the linear regression channel. And yeah, 43 minutes to close here. If this candle closes beneath, anywhere beneath 67 cents, there could be a continuation to the downside here, but there are some critical supports that we can't, yeah, there's an inflection point right over here at around 65, 55, right? So that's, it's the bottom side of this, this candle here, which is pretty confluent with the regression of the triangle, right? So that very well could be another touch of that zone there before a continuation to the upside. Anything can happen within the next 43 minutes, but I think more specifically, the hourly time frame is usually where I use this best. So yeah, hourly time frame closing anywhere upside of the 66 cent zone, that would be considered bullish, and price action would then reverse here to an upside as the the linear regression channel has played a pretty substantial. It's played as a pretty important tool. Damn it, can't speak. For me in day trading, right? Day trading equities, that is. But we're going to go ahead and forward test this in crypto and see how that damn thing works. So let's go ahead and pop open SOL right now. So ticker symbol SOL for Solana. So why don't we go ahead and just look at this in the, I guess we can do it. I know we could do it against Tether, but we can go ahead and just do this against the US dollar on Binance. It's all good. Spot price action. Let's see what it's got to offer us, right? So hourly time frame. Let's see the statistical setup on this. Nice. A little ridiculous, but nice, right? Actually, we would have to adjust this because of right. That's not. It's an inaccurate number. So let's just say. So this is a $54 asset, right? So let's do some math in my head. See if I can actually get it done, right? So that would. Oh man, how many would we be able to get, right? So I would say let's set up the buy orders to be around 160, 100, whatever. I just, there's risk parameters already set stock in this, right? So we would actually set this up to not 10,000. It would actually be at around 160 contracts. And then let's see what it does. All right. So, wow, huge profitability on this, and very curious as the SOL asset is actually bringing in way more setups on average than the XRP ticker, right? So please notice here that on the hourly time frame, we're looking at 15 trades per bar, right? So that's quite a bit. And max drawdown is looking at almost a 6%, is under 6%, and we're getting a 768.04% net profit. So this is pretty damn good, right? Performance summary, let's see. Gross profit 76,800, gross loss 16 cents, right? So I'm gonna have to go ahead and test this a little bit more, or forward test it a little more, right? But this is essentially showing a really nice equity curve. And I guess if we show the drawdowns here, let's see what that does, right? So a little weird over here, right? But yeah, I think overall is looking pretty healthy. So we will go ahead and backtest this some more as we move forward. So yeah, why don't we just go ahead and take a look at this was just a few hours ago. We actually got a nice little setup here, and it looks like there could be another. Well, actually, let me look at this in the 4-hour time frame, as that's where volatility is expanding and approaching the critical volatility zone, which could be above that 89% of volatility. And actually, there is I hate it when things say 100%. That really doesn't make me feel too comfortable. Average trade 2.2%, gainer $140 out of an entry that's close to $10,000, right? So I guess we would have to just do some more testing on this. So let me just go ahead. But I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, it's giving it for a reason, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and observe here the hourly time frame. So 39 minutes and 6 seconds and counting. I would really encourage this candle to close anywhere upside of the mid band, which would be 54.62 for a continuation to the upside here. Not to mention that there is, let's see, I guess in a very, very tiny micro time frame, there is a kind of a bit of a danger here, right? Because this is a rising, actually, it's more of a, it's an ascending triangle on a 15-minute time frame. So I guess, I guess it's a little bullish, right? So we can speculate a little bit on that, right? So there could be this setup here. It looks like it still has some time to, wiggle around in there and do its little dance, right? It also has kind of a weird looking inverse head and shoulder there, right? Another little stupid formation, but it's all good, sometimes it works out. and sometimes it doesn't, right? So I guess if we were to observe this neckline here being, being that 54.83, then let's take a trend line here and get a price objective or an implied target, right? So that would lead to a top side, very speculative, right? $58.73 zones, not 73-cent zone. It's not. I wouldn't say it's. I just don't want to get too bullish, right? I don't want to get too bullish, but obviously this thing has the jet fuel to make something like that happen. So, and that being said, I think, well, yeah, in this, look at this downside here. We had downside with declining volume, which was already indicative of bears losing a bit of strength, right? So this is reaccumulating here. The minimum target that I guess we can face from this formation would be, I mean, it could break out from now. That's cool. I guess it doesn't have to fulfill the apex, but the top side to fulfill here would be 55.43. Let me look at the hourly time frame linear regression. And yeah, so I guess that would suggest that we would close this candle here upside of that target that we just spoke of, which was 54.64, currently sitting at 54.82. And if we get this breakout anywhere in the next hour, then yeah, we would expect the top side of 55.44 pullback here to validate the 54.81 before a continuation to the upside, and then we could actually see a very nice little run here within the closure of the linear regression channel, and that implied target would actually be, I would say, anywhere around 57.92. So naturally, because we have that top side of the psychological target here from the inverse head and shoulders thing, right? That would let's just say that we're here 57.93, so we would actually gather the 58.76. So in this case, I guess we can take an inverse fib, right? Swing high to swing low, and let's take that into consideration, right, and see what we have right over here. So yeah, one spot 618, 57 spot 34 could be an area of resistance, very relevant to what we're looking at here. 2 fib located at 58.89, and yeah, I think we do have some relevance here on the fib levels. There's also that 55.98 at the 1 spot 272. That's looking like a credible area of resistance, right? So this is literally what we just spoke of, right? Getting that short-term upside to get a pullback here from that area of 55.46, very likely. Then we'll get that pullback, I'm sorry, that run up to the upside here, and then we'll get that pullback to the 54.82, where we could actually get long the asset and then continue on to the upside. Very, very typical type of play here. And it is playing out right before our eyes, right? Very nice, right? So right around these targets here, if it doesn't just immediately run to the moon here, there could be a pullback from this zone. It's already showing there to be some hesitation from the top side of that target. So I'm telling you, whoever is observing this and trading it, they're also trading it based on some formations, right? So as long as the asset or whatever you're trading does believe in it that much, then, you know, the probabilities for those targets to be fulfilled become greater and greater. So as you can see here, yeah, we're getting that pullback right from that zone that we spoke of, right, or very close to it. And yeah, so I think this is a pretty good place to leave off, team. Any questions or concerns, definitely reach out to me on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever you want. Okay, team. So really appreciate you watching this video. I know it took forever and a half. It's a movie and a half, but very important for us to observe what is happening. So I would recommend for everyone to maybe stay cash in the coming day as we're going to get the inflation report, and we have no idea what's going to happen there. Check it out, team. We're still getting that pullback, looking very much just like what we spoke about, right? Anyway, please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as they cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Yeah.